All right. We're back with another edition of the Leo G Show. I am Leo G, and podcasting is what I do, man. We have fun with this, man. It's from a fan's perspective, and we're gonna give it to you raw and real this week. So straight up, right out the gate, I'm just gonna introduce y'all to the other people top billing on the marquee, man. Shout out to my man Banks sitting over there. What's going on with you, brother?
Hey, what's going on with you, Leo G? How you feeling?
Man, I'm all right, man. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm good, brother. Another day, try to make it happen.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Another day. So we're gonna do this podcast right, man, because we got a lot to talk about, man. To piggyback on what we talked about last week. You ready for all this? Are you sure you ready for all this tonight, Banks?
Oh, I'm absolutely. I
Okay.
am
All right.
ready.
All
Let's
right.
run it.
All right. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about, a lot to digest, man. And none other, we're gonna take it over to my man. We'll take it over to my man Derek Cole over there, man. What's going on with you, brother?
What's going on, Leo G and my man Banks? There's a lot been going on this weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Woo!
Absolutely. Fellas, I'm glad to have y'all back on the show, man. We were able to actually do shows back to back weeks, man. So that's pretty cool. So we're actually going to talk about and piggyback off of what happened on last week. But before we get into that, man, as always, man, we're going to go around. We're going to do a fit check. Tonight is kind of, so before we do the fit check, man, I guess I should say this is episode 53. I think this is episode 53 we're going into. We got a lot going on. We're not going to be able to get into it on we're not going to be able to get into it all on this episode, but it's a lot going on here in Atlanta sports from a fan's perspective. And so we are we're going to talk about what we talk about tonight, okay? I'm going to just leave it at that. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Derek. Fit check, homie. What you got on, brother? For everybody that's watching us on YouTube, what you got on? I mean, for everybody listening to us on the audio podcast and not watching us on YouTube, what you got on?
Hey man, I'm representing my alma mater, the Valdosta State University Blazers, because it seems like we the only team in Georgia that can win a football championship around here. So I'm gonna have to represent my alma mater. They're in the semifinals this coming Saturday. They put them hands on Bowie State last week. So hey, we one more game away before we go to the championship in Texas.
Oh man! All right, Valdosta State, man. Shout out to Valdosta State over there doing their thing, man. What is Division Two now? What is Division Two still?
Yeah, it's still Division two, but
Division Two.
they win the championship this year. They're gonna have to make a decision.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Valdosta State, and so we kick it over to Banks, man. What you got on, Banks? What you represent, man?
Well played, Derrico. Well played with the only football team in Georgia bit. But I'm wearing my sporting the Hawks, baby. The ATL basketball team that plays down there in State Farm Arena. ATL Hawks with the hat and with the jersey. Trae Young jersey, number 11.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So I came with my Hawks gear too, man. I came. Shout out to finally getting some Hawks gear around this camp, man. So I came with my Hawks jersey as well, man. Got the hat. Y'all see it, man. That's a special. I always come with these special edition hats, man. Y'all see it, man. Y'all get like me. If you can find this one, you a bad person if you can find that one right there, man. That's a special edition hat right there. Old school pack, man. Y'all know what it is. So we're gonna keep the show rolling. We're gonna keep it moving here, man. Really, I guess we'll do the drink check, man. Pass it over to Derek Cole. I don't know if you want to feature anything tonight. I don't know if you're sipping on anything tonight, man. But what's up? What you got?
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna feature something that my man Leo turned me on. As you can see, the bottle hadn't been opened yet, but I got this Eagle Rare that we gonna pop pretty soon because I feel like something good gonna happen. So I'm gonna hold on to this until then. But yeah, I got this Eagle Rare, and always, I gotta have my little cool refreshing. So I got my Corona Premier today.
He went to Mexico to get that. He was in Tijuana. He got that from Tijuana, y'all. All right, man. I see you over there with the Eagle Rare, man. That's what's up. We still doing the bourbon thing, man. Yeah. So we'll talk about it in just a minute. We'll talk about that in just a minute. We'll bring it back. Banks, what you got for us today? You got anything today for us, man? Or you just what you rocking?
I'm just rocking the Old Faithful. The Remy.
The Remy. Okay, man. We got Derek Cole, man. Derek Cole, I think we gotta we're gonna have to upgrade. We're gonna have to get him together, man.
Hey.
We're gonna have to get him together, man.
Get
Ain't
him
nothing
some.
wrong with it.
Get him
We're
some
gonna have to get him.
juice or something.
We're gonna have to get him into something, man. We're gonna have to do that for
Hey,
real, bro.
listen, y'all leave me alone, bro. This is what I drink
So
when I want to drown
when
my
you in
sorrows.
your feelings, when you in your
Yes,
feelings,
sir.
well,
Yes,
that's a lot.
sir.
Then you drink a lot of them bottles, you know.
Okay, you making Remy some money, and still out the red cup.
Shout out to Remy Martin, hey, cause he still ain't came through and
Hey,
got the real
listen,
cups.
listen. If he ain't came and got him the next time I come over there, if I beat him over there,
They
I'm,
taking them
I'm,
back to you
I'm
taking them
taking,
back.
I'm
Taking
taking
them
back
back to South Carolina.
to the east
Banks,
side.
you heard that. You better if this man beat you over here, it's gonna be some smoke in the city for real, Banks. So you gotta come over here and get them. They nicely wrapped in the nice bag and everything, waiting for you right there at the front door. We'll talk about that in just a minute as
Leo,
we get into the
how
show.
many times have I been to your crib and we both slipped our minds about getting them
Yeah,
glasses?
it's okay. So put it
I've
like
been
this
in
here.
your house countless times.
I'm gonna have
Countless.
okay. So I'm gonna have to do you like Derrico did me. So this past weekend, I drove Banks to South Carolina. I made the trip to South Carolina to go see Derrico. Man, I had a
Yes,
chance
he did.
to kick it with him, and we watched the Big 12 championship, right?
Yeah.
Because I was over there early, so we watched the Big 12 championship out there in South Carolina. Man, I had to make a run out there to go see my boy because he didn't never think I was. He ain't gonna see me again to probably this time 2022.
It's gonna be 2022. I already know that. I mean, it's only a couple weeks left in the year, so
Yeah, man. We're gonna probably stick it there. We
yeah.
can see. We'll see what's up. But yeah, so Derrico, he had some stuff for me. And when I got there, he was like, man, just take this to the car now because I know how it is. So next
Absolutely.
time you come through over here, Banks, if my house ain't cursed or my TV ain't cursed, and you don't feel like the heebie-jeebies or something when we watch sports over here, you come through and then we'll get your stuff. You can put it in the car, and then that way you'll have it on the way out, man. So it is what it is.
That's why.
Why I just can't come over there just to have a good fellowship? Why it's got to be about having your TV cursed or whatever like that? And I see
I'm
that
just
was a nice
saying.
little jab, Leo. Nice little jab. But I'll let you have that one.
I mean, that's what the word on the street was. I mean,
So
he's telling you something that he know he experienced because I told him as soon as he got here, hey, take this in the car, but he still ended up forgetting something.
I
So
did still let him forget something. He ended up having to make a
so I
trip.
had to bring it Sunday.
Yeah, he had to make a trip. He didn't want to make that trip. But that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about it. So look, I got something I want to feature really, really quickly before we get into the show. That's my favorite term. I guess I say that a lot. People, it's a drinking game. If you listen to the podcast, I say really, really quickly a lot. So every time I say really, really quickly, you gotta take a shot. That's the new game for the podcast. When Leo G says really, really quickly, take a shot. So you probably 4 shots in as we do this episode right now. But I wanted to, I got this stuff in the collection, man. Derrico, shout out to my man Derrico, man, for real. You've been keeping up. You've been running with this bourbon stuff, man, for real, man. We got a lot of stuff, man, that we got to crack and we got to talk about, man. I think we on to something. We're doing something really, really big in the show. And of course, Banks will definitely bring you in on it, man. But you got to come correct with your game. So tonight I'm going to feature something that I hadn't cracked the seal on, obviously. And I told Derrico about this the other day. He was kind of like, what? You ain't told me about this one, but yeah. So this is Nulu Reserve. This is a straight bourbon, non-chill, barrel proof that I have here, bourbon whiskey. It's by PCS Distilling Company. It's 118 proof. And you can see here on the label there, this is specifically made for all the good people here in Georgia. You see the little sticker right there. Yeah, so Reserve Nulu Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I'm not actually sipping on this tonight because, of course, it's still sealed. Tonight, I went to an Old Faithful, and that's Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig is, if you are into bourbons, Elijah Craig, you can't go wrong as a good sipping bourbon, man. And that's what I like to sip on, just on a regular basis, unless I'm cracking something that I want to taste a different flavor profile. But that's what I wanted to feature tonight. That Nulu, man, go out if you can find it. Get like me. Derrico is now on the hunt. I don't know, Banks, if you want to be on the hunt, but you could do it. But Derrico's been happy hunting, man. He's been looking for some stuff. He's actually found me a couple of things. We'll probably talk about them here in the upcoming episodes about what we've been finding out here in these streets, because these streets ain't no love in these streets, is it, Derrico?
Ain't no love. Hey,
What? It is no love out here, man.
I'm start charging mileage.
It is no love, man. We've been going back and forth, running around, but we've been getting it together, right? All right, fellas, man. So look, we're gonna jump right on into the show, man. I'm gonna dub this show the In My Feelings episode because everybody gonna be in their feelings by the time we finish talking. We've all been in our feelings from this past weekend. We can't. So apparently, there's just this pact between like there's a team that we can't even talk about right now. So, if y'all follow the show, this is my show. This is my show. First and foremost, I'm gonna say this is my show, but then my two co-hosts don't even want to talk about this. They don't even want to talk about a specific team here in the city. They that in their feelings about it. I can't even mention them. I can't even say their name. They are dead to them. That's a damn shame. So that's why this episode here, man, is going to be dedicated. We're going to talk about college football here, and we're going to talk about some Atlanta Hawks basketball because the other team just cannot be talked about that we like to talk about here on this show. But guess what, fellas? It's coming. We'll have to rip the Band-Aid off eventually. So y'all let me know. Even if I had to come on here and do a show by myself and talk about them, I will. But we're going to have to rip the Band-Aid off. Y'all can't hide from it. We're going to have to talk about the suckage eventually. So with that being said, man, we're going to move on here to the college football playoffs and the college football championship on this past weekend. And we're going to talk about how we did with our predictions and how we feel about moving forward. The now college playoffs here coming up, moving into the college playoffs and what's setting us up for the championship. So first and foremost, I got my picks. I don't know. We were looking for picks. Everybody was talking about their picks, this, that, and the third. But I know one thing first. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this thing first. I wanted to bring this up last, but I'm going to bring this up first because we talked the key championship matchups that we talked about that were very, very important. We're going to be the Big 12. We're going to be the Big 10. And, of course, the SEC. Those were the matchups that were going to give us the American championship also was a big key component into producing one of the top four to make it into the playoffs. But off the gate, man, I'm ripping the Band-Aid off. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about the SEC championship first, fellas. Let's go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off because, man, oh, man. And so nobody on this podcast here predicted this, and we all gotta kind of eat some crow tonight. And I'm gonna give everybody their platform to sit up here, eat that crow, and talk about how wrong we were and how disappointed we were in what happened, and how in our feelings we are about what happened. So first and foremost, if you didn't know, SEC championship. Hey, look, Derrick got to take a swig on that one. Look at it. SEC championship went down, and I think all three of us predicted that Georgia was going to win this game handily. We didn't say Georgia was going to win by a field goal. We didn't say Georgia was going to, squeak it out. We said that this Georgia defense and this Georgia team was going to finally exercise some demons. Kirby was finally going to beat the master. He was finally going to beat Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? This was going to be the chance that Kirby got to shine and show what it was all about, Georgia football, man. Good God Almighty, man. They laid a big, fat pile of mess out there on the field over there at Mercedes-Benz. 41-24, Alabama whips Georgia. Whips Georgia. Let's make no excuse, guys. This was a woodshed whoop beating, okay? 41-24, it's a little cushion somewhere in there, but this was a beating. This was not even a competition off the rip, man. Alabama had their way with Georgia, and we thought it was going to be the other way around. Banks, I'm gonna go to you first, man, so you can, you can humbly eat your crow and you can humbly talk about how Alabama really, really, really just did the dogs in.
Damn you, Saban. Damn you. Only thing I can say about that was it was the same score, I believe, of last year when Alabama and Georgia played in Tuscaloosa. I think it was 41-24. You might have to fact check that for me. Wow. This whole thing, watching that from start to finished was like a painful death that I don't want to experience again. And this is the sad part about it, fellas. We may experience it again, and that's the part that I'm not looking forward to.
I don't think nobody's looking forward to it. We'll get into it in just a minute, man. This was for me. This was upsetting. this is very, very disappointing. And this is years and years and years of disappointment with Georgia football. This is 40 plus years of disappointment with Georgia football. I don't care where you want to put Georgia football success, SEC championships, we beat Tennessee, we beat Florida, whatever the case may be. You haven't won a national title in 42, 43 years. You haven't won a national title since 1980. You got an opportunity this year to exercise those demons. You got an opportunity to really show everybody how dominant you are with the recruits that you have, and you blow the SEC champ. You blow it. You blow the SEC championship game. Or did you get exposed? I don't know, Derek. Do you want to comment on it? Did Georgia just get exposed, or did they blow this? Which one was it?
Well, it depends on who you asking if they blew it or got exposed. Because some of us understood the assignment at quarterback was going to be an issue when it came down to that tidal wave. And that tidal wave came through from the East Coast, from the West Coast, from the Gulf of Mississippi, and said, here, this is where we at. We understand that y'all think that y'all got something back there, but he just ain't good enough. And I had some guys over from UGA. Shout out to my boys K-Knock, Zeke, and Big Ben. We said it. The person that was going to beat Georgia, let me say it like this. Kirby Smart was going to be the person that beat Georgia. Not Alabama, not Nick Saban, but Kirby Smart. And he stayed true to form. He was right on point, sticking to his guns, showing how stubborn he is. And boy, oh boy, did Nick Saban eat it up. Because he said in his little press conference, "Woo, that rat poison y'all put out there was yummy." Yeah. I hope, I'm looking at you, Kirby Smart. Can you see me? Can you see me? I hope you heard what he did to you. He basically rubbed his nutsack across your chin.
Wow. Hey, man, I can't disagree. I cannot disagree, man. I'm going to say this. And, for what it's worth, I am a Georgia fan. But the eye test was very, very clear. Like, I saw it crystal clear as day. This Georgia team and Kirby Smart just is not, they're not it. We thought they were. Derek, I text you, I said, this is fool's gold. They damn sure made a fool out of me. Pom-poms out all year. We blasting people. Tennessee on the score 17. Kentucky, we rolling Florida. We just beating teams into submissions. Saban and the Crimson Tide over there struggling over there. Oh, look, they struggle with Arkansas. Oh, man, Texas A&M got them. They struggled 4 overtimes with Auburn. But, man, Nick Saban said, you know what? Y'all know what? If I know them boys like I think I know these boys, we're going to be all right, fellas. We're going to be all right. This was a totally different team that came out in the SEC championship than we saw that they played Auburn. They played damn near perfect football against UGA. And in my opinion, exposed a lot. And yes, Derek Carr, I will agree with you as I kick it over here to Banks in just a moment, that yes, Kirby Smart is not that damn smart. Okay? I'm gonna say it. He's not that smart because there are a few things that you could have done. I don't know what you thought you were doing. I don't know if you felt like, okay, yeah, we know we're in the playoffs already. You ain't that goddamn, you haven't been there to the mountaintop to say, okay, we know we're in the playoffs, so let's just, you've done nothing. Your resume has nothing on it. You don't have a national championship to do that. You can't pull that card. Nick Saban can pull that card, but you can't, Kirby. I'm talking to you, Kirby, too. You can't pull that. Your fans expected for you to beat Alabama in the SEC championship and roll and prove to everybody that you are who we thought you were. But instead, you failed the damn assignment. You failed miserably and horribly. You were exposed. That young man over there at quarterback where Alabama had his way. That offensive line that had trouble with Auburn said, you know what? Our quarterback ain't going to be touched. Your secondary was man, hold on. Banks, I got some more to go in on. So, Banks, I'm going to give it over to you for a minute. Did Saban expose Georgia, or is this Kirby not getting out of his damn way? Tell me what your take is on what we saw this past Saturday.
I think it's a mixture of both. They were exposed. I think we going into the season, before we played Clemson, that the secondary was the weakest part of the defense. I mean, I think that was no secret. I think what happened with the Alabama game is that they kind of they fell into that hype of there being the best defense that Georgia ever seen. I think Saban said, "Okay, well, I'll match you that. I'll call." So they went ahead and did what they played their game. Alabama played their own game, and they succeeded. And for Georgia, we did everything but succeed. We had the wrong quarterback out there. After you realize that this in the first quarter, it could be a shootout. And instead of you doing the right thing, you stood to your guns and said, we're going to roll with this guy no matter what. Now, you stole my thunder, Theo. I was just about to say, you don't have the luxury to say, at least we're in the playoffs. You haven't done anything. And I'm like, if that is your way of thinking, then your ass need to be on the hot seat right now. You haven't done nothing since I was born. 1980, the year I was born. The Georgia has not won a championship since then. How dare you?
Damn you old,
no.
man. Damn you old.
Really?
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Really?
Go ahead, man.
How dare you? How dare you sit there and have that assumption that you're going to get in regardless? Okay, yeah, you're going to get in, but now you're kind of backing into it with a foot up your ass. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. It's all the way to the small intestines, brother.
All the way, foot to
all
ass.
the way.
You got it. And you got to wear it. You got to wear it. You have to wear this. And what I've been telling people.
They didn't pull them off.
You got to, Georgia has to wear this. They have to eat this, man. All of every bit of everybody that wanted to hate on Georgia came from out of the sewers. They came from out of the swamps. Literally, they came from out of the woods. Everybody was waiting on this moment because for some reason, everybody was waiting on the other foot to drop for Georgia to prove to everybody that they weren't who they were, that they were. It was like they waited for 12 weeks of football to say, man, you know what? Just watch. They're going to fail. And I think collectively as Georgia fans, we were all waiting for this too. I'm not going to lie, fellas. I was waiting on this too. Because I just felt like somewhere in Banks, to piggyback what you just said, man, Kirby has stuck to his guns in previous years in situations that we felt like he should have let go. This goes back to Jake Fromm. This goes back to why Justin Fields left here. It's a quarterback situation. It's more than a quarterback situation, but at the same time, what that tells us is you have to do everything in your power to put your football team in a position to win. And I feel like you don't want to do that. You want to be loyal to whoever. You want to be loyal to this fifth-year guy that walked on up there because you feel like he gives you the best chance. No, man. No, dude. No. Let me tell you something. The reason Nick Saban is who he is because this dude wins at all costs. He finds ways to win. Do you think Nick Saban cares if he has to bench somebody in the middle? If Nick Saban has to bench somebody in the middle of a meaningless game against Charleston Southern just to win, he'll do that to prove a point. Kirby Smart will not bench a quarterback just because he feels like he's obligated to do something. And, he could tell me otherwise, but he hasn't proven to me that he's willing to take that step. There's somebody else over there on the sideline that could have gotten the opportunity. Derek Cole, I know you wanted to say something, man, so I'm going to give it to you.
For some reason, I was just sitting there listening. And I was like, this dude ego is so big that he wanted to make sure that his defense got all the glory. So he's not going to put somebody in there that's going to take away from his shine. And the shine was the defense. That's all we kept talking about, the defense, the defense, the defense. He felt like he can just throw me out there to play quarterback and his defense would take care of business. But oh my, he didn't know he forgot that his I don't know if he would call him a mentor. Well, the guy he coached with at Alabama remembered what kind of coach he was at Alabama. So don't
That
think that
notion was thrown out the window at first
Oh yeah.
quarter.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
oh, yeah.
you had a decision to make, and you didn't make it because, like Leo said, hey, you got another option. You just don't want to be proven wrong.
Let me quote something really quickly before I give it back over to Banks, because we're not finished going in on this Georgia team. We're not finished. We might dedicate a whole the way I'm feeling right now, this whole show might be dedicated to how sorry they ass played. Because I'm really feeling it today. Leo G is feeling it today. So before I go over to you, Banks, let me give you some of the pressure that Kirby Smart said after the game was over with. Kirby Smart laid everything, like you just said, Derek Cole. He talked about how he wanted the defense to be the star of the show. But in the same breath as he talked about how they were inadequate on offense, that basically everything, the stars, the moon, the sun, the tides, everything needed to be in line in order to help his offense out to win this game. Stetson Bennett went out there and did what he could. We just didn't give him enough opportunities. The defense didn't go out there and make enough plays and put enough pressure on Bryce so for us to get the ball to do what we needed to do. But when we did have the ball, the offense looked pedestrian as hell. It looked pedestrian as hell. And then you wanted to say we cannot win that type of game. Well, what the hell, Kirby? You didn't think or prepare for the fact that, Alabama might drag you into a damn shootout, knowing good and well that you might be one of the mentions. Because one thing I do know about Saban, he's just like every other good ball coach that coaches football, man. They're going to make you play left-handed. They're going to show your cards, man, and make you beat them some type of other way. So, Banks, I'm going to get this over to you because, like I said, man, we really going to break this down and we really going to give Georgia all they miss because I'm feeling the day. Banks,
all the smoke.
Banks, you just talked about how cocky Kirby was, and I just told you a little bit about what he said in the presser, man. Like going into this Michigan game here, we'll talk about that in just a minute, man. Like, do you even feel at this point, watching Kirby, watch what we've seen slip away from him at Georgia, do you even feel any confidence of him being competent enough? Dude, you got to think about this, man. Look at all the talent that they have up there at this school. Is he even competent enough to be the head coach up there? And yes, I'm saying this because this is really befuddling, man. Is he competent enough to damn run this team?
He's not showing that he is competent. I'm looking at it, even going back to when we had Eason, and he dropped the ball on that. You had Fromm and you had Fields, and you crapped the bed on that one. Now you got freaking Stetson Bennett, and you have JT Daniels. When you brought in JT Daniels after Stetson Bennett lost to Alabama last year, okay, by the same score, by the way, it was said that JT Daniels had he been healthy, he would have played that game. Okay, so you're going into the next year. You beat Clemson with JT Daniels. He gets hurt. Stetson Bennett will kind of come in, kind of like weather the storm till JT gets better. That was said, right? Where did it turn from he be the bridge to we're gonna ride the hot hand? What hot hand, Kirby? What hot hand? This man, Monken, the offensive coordinator, said he was hoping that JT Daniels would be back by the SEC championship. He said this. Why? Because he's the one that can run his offense the best. Duh. So why are we still running Stetson Bennett out there? Everyone and their mama, why would they even ask the question? It's going to be a time where JT Daniels going to have to bail you out. Why does he have to bail us out when he's our quarterback? Stetson Bennett was a backup. That's the problem I have. When Saban had that same situation with us in the SEC championship, what did he do? He benched one.
Not
Hold
just the
on.
SEC championship, but the national championship too.
Championship. He benched one and started the other and whooped our ass. What did we do? Oh, well, we're just gonna keep running Stetson Bennett. You're afraid you're gonna hurt his confidence? He might not even be there next year. He might not be there next year. What are you saving him for?
I mean, no disrespect.
No, they ain't no. Don't disrespect nothing on this show
Banks.
today.
Hold on, Banks. I'm gonna get back to you, man. There you go, Banks he on the roll. There you go. So look, man, no disrespect. No, what I was saying was, look at him. No disrespect to Stetson Bennett, man. 5th-year walk-on senior from Blackshear, Georgia, that's gonna be selling insurance at State Farm next year. But listen, like Banks just actually Jake Fromm about to start this weekend, but we'll talk about that later. Going back to this whole situation with Stetson Bennett, fellas, I don't blame Stetson Bennett, man. I cannot, but I don't want to beat and bash Stetson Bennett up because this is not on him. This is not on Stetson Bennett. He's being tossed out there knowing good and damn well he's a 2-star athlete playing for a damn top tier school. Okay, well, Derek will say a 1-star athlete. I mean, it's not his fault that, all of this is being thrust upon him and they're putting this on this young man to go out there and do what we can. Listen, Saban finds guys, Nick Saban found Bryce Young in Pasadena, California. Got it. Georgia has had their fair share of 5-star quarterbacks coming to this school, right? And for some reason, Kirby cannot figure this out. Now, granted, it takes a defense and an offense to win games. I get it. But at the same time, there has never been a clear-cut quarterback situation at Georgia since Kirby has been there. Like Banks said, going back to this whole Eason, Jake Fromm situation. Eason goes down. Jake Fromm comes in. Eason, now we don't hear from him. Eason plays this all the way out, but he can't win us a national championship. Then Stetson Bennett comes in. He's okay. I can't remember the young man's name that we tried to start out initially last year in the COVID season, but he wasn't good enough. Get rid of him. And then the year before that, it was Justin Fields came in to compete. Justin Fields couldn't get this done. But yet we still find ways to have mediocre talent playing at this position and expecting that it's going to be okay. And when we get to it's okay when we play in Kentucky. It's okay when we play in the Tennessees and the Charleston Southerns. But when we get to the dance, when we get to the game to actually matter and count, hey, man, you got to figure out a way to make this happen with this quarterback situation. Or if not, Kirby, you're going to be down here coaching at Gresham. Shit, they might even now let you coach at Gresham Park. Because for real, that's where you had it, man, if you keep messing up. Them boosters at Georgia, trust me, they hot. 38 hot right now. Yeah, we're still in the playoffs. But unless you finish this drill, unless you get past Michigan, and then let's be realistic. I think I'm taking Bama and all this worth right now and all their glory and that young man at their quarterback right now to take it on in. But Derek, I'm gonna kick it over to you, and we're gonna continue on into this show, man. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it real slow, so that everybody understand what I'm about to say. I remember when Bear Bryant saw some football teams on the other side of the tracks and said, I got to get me some of them. So, Kirby, you got to get you one of them.
Whew. All right. Hey, I'm not mad. I don't know, man. For whatever it's worth, really quickly, go ahead and take y'all another shot because I just said it. Couple of stats here I want to throw out from this game before we move on. Bryce Young, man. Shout out to that young man who's probably he's going to win the Heisman Trophy, man. This dude was 26 of 44 for 421 yards on this Georgia defense, man. Good God. He had a day. They went out and, Alabama's defense didn't have to do nothing special, nothing spectacular. Offense was clicking. They were running. And in Alabama fashion, man, they went out and figured out, hey, this is what Georgia wants to do. And, as long as we can, make them turn this over, put the ball back in our offense's hands, we'll be able to do what we're going to do. Night and day difference between the Auburn game and the Georgia game with the offensive line. I don't know what Saban said to that offensive line, fellas. I don't know what he said to them boys. But that looked just they look gold. Everybody on that Alabama offensive line looked like damn first team All-Americans against Georgia, against Jordan Davis and this front seven that we thought was going to be so damn tough. They got rolled up, man. I saw Jordan Davis over there drinking Kool-Aid in the second quarter, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't do nothing. He was over there eating Laffy Taffies and Airheads and drinking Kool-Aid, man. He was through. He was done with it. He couldn't do nothing, man. Banks, man, I'm gonna pass it over to you, and we'll talk about. I want you to give me your take just a little bit more and get it off your chest, and then we're gonna talk about these other games and move on in the podcast.
I got nothing else to say, brother. It is what it is with them. Bama, basically, they had their way with him, with Georgia. Georgia, you got exposed. You did it a complete opposite what we thought you was going to do. And at this point now, when you're going into these playoffs, I hope that's not what everyone is, at least we're in the playoffs. That is so tired. That's so tired. I can't stand when people say that. You're playing Michigan. I mean, it's not even a guarantee you might beat them. Even if you did, I mean, you about to see Bama again. Like, you really about to see this team another 4 quarters. Like, that's one time in my sports fanhood that I can actually say I'm good when not watching. I can really sit back and say I don't.
I'm not gonna call you out like that, man. It's been a couple of times you said you ain't got to watch.
No.
Oh, you saying Cincinnati can't beat Alabama?
Hold on.
Are you serious?
Hold on. Okay, wait.
Are you completely serious right now?
I'm just asking a question.
Stop.
I'm telling you that they're not beating Cincinnati's not beating Bama. I'm telling you.
Okay.
So,
all right.
No, it ain't. Listen,
I'm gonna have to mute somebody. I got the mute button right here. I got the mute button.
I know. I said a lot.
I'm about to.
Hold on, Leo. Let me have that. Let me have that. Hold on 1 second.
I'm gonna give you a chance to talk about that in just a second. We gotta move on with the show, man. Derico just hyped you up. I'm gonna give you a chance to talk about that in just a second. Come on, let's move on to the next segment, man. Really, really quickly. Take another shot, fellas. All right, so here we go, man. Just to talk. To talk about what we just alluded to, man. So the next game that we want to talk about is Cincinnati and Houston in the American Championship. This was a game that I think all three of us got right. Cincinnati was going to beat Houston, and they did it pretty handily, 35-20. Shout out to Cincinnati, man. Since this college playoff thing has been around, no team from a Power 5 conference has gotten to the playoffs. Cincinnati has knocked on the door. We've had the UCF, so the world knock on the door. We've had a couple of teams try to get in there, but Cincinnati would not be denied. Cincinnati put themselves, rightfully so, in the college football playoffs for the first time. First team from a non-Power 5 conference to do so. And I think it's safe to say that Cincinnati is legit. They took a Georgia team to the wire last year in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl here. We had some of those gentlemen, some of those young men that stood out there on the field after that game to watch Georgia celebrate and say, hey, you know what? We want more. That tells me something about their program and about their coach up there in Cincinnati, man. They literally lost a tight one by a field goal to Georgia last year. And look where they are now, man. They're in the college football playoffs. So, man, I got to take my hat off to them, man, for doing what they did and to getting to moving the needle and getting where they need to get. With that being said, Derek, I'm gonna go over to you first, man. Cincinnati now first team out of a Power 5 power conference. I say Power 5, but what is really a power conference anymore? But long story, like I said, man, first team out of one of those power conferences to make it into the playoffs, man. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about this Cincinnati team?
I mean, it shows a little parity. It also shows good coaching. It also shows some want to. You got to want to be great. You got to want to be good. Kirby, you got to want to be elite. And Cincinnati wants to be elite. They want to. Georgia claimed to be elite. Cincinnati wants to be elite. Not saying that they're going to do it, but I would not put it past them to do it because there's a different mentality.
Still beating on Georgia. We still going to beat on Georgia.
Have a different mentality. They don't have the arrogance. They don't have the bloodline of UGA. They don't have none of that. Them guys can go out there and actually overachieve any given day on the football field, basketball court, baseball diamond, soccer field, any given moment, it can happen.
chip on their shoulder, man. Big chip on their shoulder, man. Luke Fickle has them boys playing right, 13-0 Cincinnati, man. I'm giving them that respect. I really am, man. I think that they deserve to be in this playoffs. And like you just said, Derek Cole, man, they are not going to go down lightly. I don't care who. Well, we know who they're going to play. They're going to play Alabama here in the playoffs. I think they're going to be playing out in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, in the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve for the right to play for a national championship, man. Luke Fickle has gained my respect. Even though they're going up against Nick Saban and the mighty Alabama Crimson Tide, I feel like you said, man, these guys, they have nothing to lose. They weren't supposed to be here. They fought to get here, and they have nothing to lose, and they're going to put it all out on the table. So, Banks, I'm going to kick it over to you. We kind of know how you feeling about this already, but let's talk about how Cincinnati got there, man. 13-0, they beat Houston in the American Championship, man. They made it in. They made it in, Banks. They're here. They're here on the big stage.
Congratulations to the Bearcats. I can't really say that I would pay attention to them throughout the season. I just know they beat Notre Dame and beat them soundly. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Good job on your undefeated season. You're going up against Bama. I don't know. I mean, can you beat them? Yeah, but will you beat them? Probably not. So I mean, it was a good run. I mean, I look at Cincinnati. You can say what you want. Yeah, they got the want to, but now it's about to get real. Like the billet's about to leave some blood. So
I mean, like you just said, Banks. They've been here before.
I understand. Well, I can't really say that either because they barely lost to a Georgia team that we both all know that is fool's gold. So yeah, I'm not putting any stock in that. So you about to play Bama. So good luck to that.
And I'm about to say this much as well, Derek, before I kick it over to you. And this is something that I want you to kind of piggyback on, Derek, as well, man. I think it's time for us to stop giving excuses to these big teams when they play schools like this. I think it's time for us to stop making excuses for them, right? Georgia, playing down to a Cincinnati team last year and winning by a field goal, right? Alabama getting beat by a UCF team that went undefeated a couple of years ago, right? It's time to stop giving these excuses to these big schools, man. These teams come to show up and play just like you do, okay? You can't just walk out on the field because Auburn is behind you on your uniform and expect to win. Just because you can't go out on the field because Georgia or Notre Dame is on your uniform and expect to win, man. Let's start giving some of these schools their credit, man. And let's be real about this, man, because like you just said, Derek Cole, they want to win. They have a want to win, and they're going to start, and like you said, with this parity here in college football, man, they're going to start embarrassing some teams and showing that it's some fakers out here. It's some just because you in the SEC or you in the Big Ten don't necessarily mean that you got top-notch competition, and you can get whooped and whooped bad. So, I mean, let's be real about this, man. I don't think that this Cincinnati team is something to sneeze at, man. I think They're here to play. I don't think they're the token team to play for a national championship. I think Cincinnati feels they can win a national championship, bro.
Hey, I'm like always like the underdog, which is not my team. So I always gonna look at the underdog and say, hey, we can do it. I felt the same way when I was in school playing. We had this big bad Mary's team that came down to South Georgia that felt like they couldn't ride a bus to Cairo, so they flew into Tallahassee. Disrespectful. Just disrespectful. And I just feel like Alabama can get caught up in the same situation, thinking that they're playing, oh, it's just Cincinnati. And you catch a right hook. Like Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. And I would not be surprised if they went straight right hook, left hook, uppercut, straight jab, left jab. Don't matter. Kick you in the ball. It don't matter. I think they're gonna bring every bullet they got in the gun and gonna blast every last one of them. So I don't want nobody to think that, like you were saying, Leo, that just because it's Cincinnati, people want to play now. So that's why there's so much parity right now, I think, in the NCAA. People want to play. They don't just want to go and sit on the bench when they've been like the man on campus. You got some special people that say, I'll go to Bama and sit down a year just so I can win a championship. But you got those other cats that say, hey, I want to go out there and play to prove my self-worth. And I just
And
feel
let's
like at this point, that's what it's going to be like.
And let's be real, fellas. Like you just said, this transfer portal is hot. This transfer portal is hot, man. You'll be a 5-star, 4-star athlete, man, at a Alabama, at a Georgia, at a LSU, and be like, you know what, man, I ain't getting no P. I'm out. I'm out, man. This transfer portal is really, really hot and giving kids opportunity to say, you know what, man, I'm gonna make my worth. I'm gonna go somewhere else. And coaches can really, really say, hey, you know what, man, we can get some talent out of this transfer portal, man. We might not be able to sell on the upper end on some of these big schools, but let them go to Georgias and let them go to the Alabamas and not get PT and watch us suck them on in, man. You know what I'm saying? I think, not to go too far off, you got a guy like Crystal Ball that's going from Oregon down to Miami, man. Give him a little bit of time, man. Everybody want to say the U is back, whatever the case may be, but get this kid. I know, Derek, you feel some type of way about that, but give Crystal Ball a little bit of time going down to Miami to see what he could do to kind of switch some things up. So, Banks, I'm gonna come over to you here, man. We're gonna move forward here in the show. We're gonna talk about this other team that has made their way to the national championship and how they did it, man. Michigan Wolverines, they play Iowa in the Big Ten championship up there in Indianapolis, man. And also, I was totally wrong about this. Totally wrong. I called Iowa in an upset, man. But man, did Michigan say, you know what, man, put us in play 42-3. The Wolverines go. Harbaugh's first time into the playoffs, first time beating Ohio State. We thought after an emotional win against Ohio State that this was going to be tough for them to come out and do. But look, looks like Michigan is for real, man. As much as we joke in the South about Big Ten football, man, I will say this much, man. Michigan is for real, Banks. Michigan has put themselves in position to be playing for a national title. They said, you know what, we're hungry, we want it, and I watched this whole game, Banks.
I want to clarify something. You said you and Banks, right? Thought that Iowa was going to win.
Yeah, I did.
We'll get back to
that.
We did. We did. I did. Okay. It is what it is. But so, Banks, I'm gonna kick it over to you here first, man. Michigan is this is a surprising squad, man. I just did not think that Michigan was gonna be. Michigan took a L to the in-state rival Michigan State, and we thought that it was all but lost. We knew going up against the arch enemy over there in Columbus, Ohio State, that once Ohio State put the thumping on them, it was over for them. They beat Ohio State. They win the Big Ten championship, and now they're here to face Georgia in the Orange Bowl on December 31st to throw their name in the ring to play for a national championship against the University of Georgia. Banks, tell us how you feel about this game, man, and how the Wolverines ended up in this position to get here, man.
Michigan's in a good spot, brother. They playing up against a dejected Georgia team. They have a great chance to get to that national championship. Michigan, I can't really say that I know anything about them. The only thing I know is they are a power running team. They barely passed the ball. I forget the quarterback's name, but he did his job against Ohio State. And I recall that he, throughout the year, McNamara. Okay. He had a shaky season, from beginning to end, but their bread and butter is that run game. So, and those two defensive ends that they got. So that's their bread and butter. They in the prime spot. They playing up against a Georgia that's been dejected. They've been knocked down a lot of pegs. So they're prime to be in that natty. So
okay, yeah. But really, since we still whooping on Georgia, I want you to tell me.
Still whooping on Georgia.
Derek, I'm coming over here just a second.
Alabama didn't stop.
Okay. I want you to really tell me how you feel about this matchup, man. And I'm gonna kick it over to Derek over here in just a second. Is this now a situation where? Because I know you even made the comment that Georgia, after their performance against Alabama, they don't even deserve to be here. They don't even deserve a chance to play for a national, even though they went undefeated through the regular season. Even though they had a great regular season, they got trounced by Alabama, and you even made the statement that they don't even deserve to be here to play for a national championship. So how does that play into them playing Michigan? And do you even feel like they're capable of? Let's be real. Can they beat Michigan? Do they stand a chance to beat Michigan, or after being exposed by Alabama, is this just the end of the road for Georgia?
Is that a question for me?
for you. It's for you.
Oh, do they have? They have a chance. Of course they do. Will they do it? What Kirby? Which Kirby are we going to get? Are we going to get the Kirby from week 1 through week 5, or we going to get the SEC championship Kirby? Can't get his head out of his ass. Because I tell you what, you trot Stetson Bennett out there one more time, and the biggest game of your life, I'm pretty sure it ain't just the fans that's going to turn it back on you, sir. I'm just being real.
I ain't gonna be able to go back to Athens. Man, Banks gonna be waiting on his ass up there. Derek, hey man, boy, this boy Banks tonight, boy, Lord. So Derek, man, I'm gonna give it to you, man. I give you an opportunity to speak on this Michigan team, man, and what they were able to do, how they throttle, how you called them beating Iowa, they throttle Iowa to put themselves in this national title hunt, man. How do you feel about Michigan going into the Orange Bowl against Georgia, man? And what are their chances, man? Just from seeing what the eye test.
Right. I felt Michigan's defense was going to be the difference. Like we thought UGA's defense was going to be the difference. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Them two boys on the end on Michigan, Bennett don't have a chance. Not a chance. He don't have a chance. Let me say it like, he don't have a snowball's chance in hell against them two boys on them ends for Michigan. So if Mr. Kirby Smart wants to trot him out there, it's going to be a long day for Georgia. It's going to be a long day. Because one, we can't seem to want to stick with one running back. That's the one thing. We got to put 5 running backs out there. Why? If you can put 5 running backs out there, but you don't want to put the one quarterback out there. You done told them boys, mamas, and daddies that you was going to play them at running back. So what you told them, mamas and daddies, at the quarterback position?
And the best, too, right? And hold on, the best running back still don't get the most carries.
That's not my fault. I know what it is. It's Cook. I've said it all year. That is the dude. He is the dude. You got to give him more touches. Period. But that's a different conversation.
It is a different conversation.
The defense for Michigan is going to pose a problem for our offense. It wasn't all Alabama's edge rushers. We held Anderson in check most of the game.
So look, Derek, you just said it, man. I think it's crystal clear that if Michigan was paying attention, that hey, look, man, we don't have to do much to go out here to match up with this Georgia offense. We really don't. I think Michigan has the talent to do so. It's the fact that can Michigan, the key to this is going to be, can Michigan's offense be explosive enough like Alabama was to beat Georgia? That's going to be the key to it. That's going to be the question. And look, we'll save this for another date, and we'll talk about these matchups here moving forward before they happen on the 31st of December, fellas, because it's another thing that we're going to jump into really, really quickly, take a shot before we close this out. So the reason everybody has on, me and Banks got on the Hawks gear, man, because we want to talk a little bit about the Hawks. I hit Banks up. I hit everybody up and said, hey, man, what do y'all want to talk about tonight other than the fact that we'll talk about some more college football? Banks was like, we'll never talk about the Hawks, man. Let's talk about the Hawks for a minute. So we'll talk about the Hawks for just a minute before we close the show out. I'm one of these guys that, NBA for me, man, is kind of on the back burner, man. But, hey, we're a few games in, you know what I'm saying? We like, 25, 26 games in. So we'll talk about it, man. Right now, Hawks, our Atlanta Hawks are currently 13-12, one game above 500 in the East. Sitting at the number 10 spot in the conference. Thus far, I mean, we watched them play. They got some injuries going on right now, man. We got another glass man on this team, I think. I'll talk about that in just a second. I'm going to give it over to you, Derek, here first. Hawks through these 25, 26 games or so. How are you feeling at this point with what you're seeing out of the Hawks moving forward here going into the new year?
We were better than we were last year to start the season. I'm going to give you the good part. Oh, we were. Remember? That's why we got rid of our coach. Why you looking at me like that, Banks?
I know, absolutely, yeah. I agree. I'm agreeing.
I'm just looking at Banks. I'm just saying.
We're going to give it to him in just a second.
Yeah. So I feel like we have some lineup issues as far as consistency, as far as how we make our substitutions. Like the game against, I say Orlando on Friday was a classic case. You thought you had it in the bag, so you just over there putting your starters on ice. And Orlando said, "Whoo, not so fast, not so fast," and came back and just destroyed the lead that we had, and we couldn't overcome it. So at
I
some
think
point,
you meant Charlotte.
Charlotte. He talking about Charlotte.
Charlotte. So it's like, hey, and they was down 4 players, starters, 2. So they just came into the mindset, like I guess Georgia came into the mindset with Alabama, that hey, we're better than Alabama, so we just gonna go out there and just do what we got to do. But I'll say this: the Atlanta Hawks are playing regular season basketball. Like you said, Leo, the regular season basketball teams are different than the playoff teams. I don't care what nobody say. Golden State can go out there and win 72 games, and it don't matter. But once you get past the playoffs timeline, that's a different ball game. So
Yeah.
at this point, I'm good with where we are. I mean, we're not so far back that we can't catch up. So I like what we're doing. We got this arguably the second best guard in the league right now in Trae Young. I don't care if people want to take a dump on him because sometimes he take a bad shot, but he's still 40%, 40%, high 40s in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. He's leading the league in scoring. He's leading the league
Right.
in the number of assists. He's
Well,
second
I
in
mean, yeah.
assist percentage. He's 5th in scoring. I mean, what else you want from your starting superstar point guard that you
I mean,
always
outside,
want to have? You always want to say we haven't had a superstar since Dominique. Now you got one. Now you want to take a crap on it. That's the Atlanta way.
I will say this much, man. I mean, outside of maybe Chris Paul, man, Trae Young is playing lights out basketball at the point guard position, like you said, Derek O. 26.2, 5th in the league, 9.4 assists, 3rd in the league. Man, Trae is an elite player. He's a superstar. I think he's went past the whole all-star. We talk about this all-star, superstar level. I think Trae is now on that superstar level. So Banks, as I take it over to you here, man, thus far, I know you wanted to talk about it and get into it, man. Where do we stand right now, 25, 26 games in? Is this a sample enough? Is this sample size enough to tell us what we're going to see moving forward here, going into the new year as we try to round it, make it into the playoffs, as Derek just alluded to, man, that playoff basketball that we want to see. I know we had a couple of injuries. DeAndre Hunter, I think, is out. I think I heard today that Solomon Hill is now gone for quite some time now with a hamstring injury. So, I mean, these are the challenges that
Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish. Yeah. These are the things that, we kind of went through last year with injuries and everything. So, Banks, just give me your assessment on how you feel about these Hawks thus far.
It's still early. Like you guys said, Hunter's injured, Cam is injured, Solo's injured, Bogdanovich is injured. So, I mean, it's almost like a carbon copy of last year of all the injuries. I mean, the same as that players. Right. So what I'm about to say is that, you got a team in the Atlanta Hawks. You got a Trae Young, who I feel like he's just going through the motions. I mean, to me, I think like he knows what he got. He can get it when he wants to get it. The man is a walking assist. Okay. He still have a deadly floater. Like till this day, after he displayed it in the playoffs last year, and he's still doing it to the games today, and no one has figured it out with the high pick and roll. So I think that's not going anywhere, fellas. Atlanta Hawks as a team are like, I believe they're ranked second or third in the league in threes, but they're bottom 5 in attempts. So yeah, make it make sense. But okay. Either way, they made 25, 26 threes last night against the Timberwolves.
It was Minnesota.
Yeah. With 50 attempts. So, I mean, they were chucking it up there. And then Trae was doing his logo shots. I mean, I think he's just toying with them, man. I really feel like he don't have to do it, but he just do it. It's his brand. It's his brand. Guys, people want to be like, why does he do that? Why does he do that? That's who he is. Ask New York, ask Philadelphia. They still talking about this man. When New York beat the Hawks in the regular season a couple of weeks ago, they celebrated like it was no end. Guys, it's a regular season in November. Get over yourself. If you feel like that's validation of get back in November, okay, if you say so. Just remember, we beat you when it counted. So, yeah, that part.
Absolutely, man. So I think it's safe to say, man, that the Hawks right now at this mark, man, they're playing kind of par for the course, like you guys said, man. With injuries, a lot of things going on. It's a long NBA season, 82 games. I think Nate McMillan starting out with his team, because like you said last year, we started out with a different coach. We know how that all played out. Nate ended up getting us to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think we're right where we want to be. I think you got a leader in Trae Young. I think initially early on, I know Trae made some comments about, why was it so slow starting out? And Trae was like, it's a different brand of basketball. Regular season, it's a long haul, man. Outside of professional baseball, man, basketball season is pretty damn long. The second longest season. I don't know how long hockey is, but I know 82 games is a very long season. So it's a marathon and not a sprint. Derrico?
Who cares about hockey?
I care. I miss the Thrashers.
Oh boy. You done stepped on some toes with that one.
I miss the Thrashers. Yeah,
That's why I said that.
Yeah, I want to throw some dirt on. I want to see another hockey team here in the city before they throw some dirt on me. I don't know if it'll happen, but I would like to see
Derrico, you might not like hockey, but don't knock it till you've been there.
I did not say that. I said we don't have a team, so who cares about hockey?
I still care. Do
you watch hockey now?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. I really do. I watch Seattle Kraken, and they rocking up there, brother.
That's what's
give me that little golf clap if you want to, but it's exciting as hell.
So look, fellas, man, look, I wanted to talk about the Hawks a little longer, man. We're going to have to come back to another podcast and give them they do, man, because we really this was the in our feelings episode, man. We went at it with Georgia, and we went at it with Georgia and Kirby and what they're doing up there, because it's obvious that we really, really need to figure out what's going on with that. Fellas, before we close this out, I want both of you all to get out of your feelings and get ready, because we're definitely gonna have to go back and talk about that team that y'all don't want to talk about, and it's happening pretty soon. Oh no, don't. Okay, well, hey, I come on here and talk by myself. That's fine. I can come on here and talk by myself then, man. But you're gonna have to rip the Band-Aid off eventually. Y'all don't want to, man. But we some grown men. Stop acting like y'all in elementary school and it's the 4th grade and somebody took y'all lunch money. For real, it's gonna have to be talked about, man. It's gonna have to be talked about.
Someone took their lunch money, by the way. Since we taking lunch monies around here, they got their lunch money took. All right, so let's talk about it. Bring it up next time. No, bring it up. I got something to say. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Plenty to say about that team.
Now y'all got plenty to say. But yeah, we had to X them from this show. So look, anyway, man, we're gonna close this thing out as always, man. I appreciate you guys coming on. Derrico, man, let everybody know where they can find you, man.
You can catch me at the Twitter at VSU96. That's VSU. Y'all didn't know that, did you? 96SDD. Yes, sir. And you can catch me on IG at Derrico_Virgo. And if you're feeling like Banks tonight, you can catch me on Facebook at Stacy D. Derrico. And shout out to my boys. I don't know who the Colorado School of Mines is, but at 12 o'clock on Saturday, you're going to understand the assignment in South Georgia.
Don't sleep on Colorado School of the Mines, man. Don't sleep on them, man. Banks, hey, man, let everybody know where they can find you at.
On the Twitter, you can find me at BabyBanks80, and on the gram, same name, BabyBanks80. And then on Facebook at Antoine Jarrell Banks. Look me up, send me a DM. I'll be there. I'll be ready to talk to you if you want to holler. And ask for the state champions in the state of Georgia.
We talking about sports? Are we talking about sports right now? What we talking about, man? You talking about jumping the DMs and holler at me? What we talking about, man?
congratulations to all congratulations to all the state champions. I think they have championship week this week, or is it next week?
Championship
it's
this week
yeah.
is this week coming up here, man.
Saturday.
Congratulations, all the high school that's made it to the big dance in the state of Georgia. Since we feel like there's some kind of a curse on these grounds of Georgia that football teams cannot make it to the big dance, you guys are making it happen. Congratulations.
Well, they ain't got no choice. All the teams playing for the state championship in Georgia.
They got a choice because listen.
We're gonna lose to Rhode Island football or something. I don't know. The Alabama gonna come in here and beat us. The Alabama high school team gonna come in and beat us.
They play Alabama teams. They play South Carolina teams. They play Florida teams.
We talking about for the state championship deal.
Yeah, Banks on one tonight, but hey, look, man, listen, man, I appreciate you guys. I got a couple of shout outs, so really quickly, that's another one. Take a shot if you heard me. My neighborhood, man, Langston Hughes High School here, right around the corner in Fairburn, man. They are playing for their first state. I'm sorry, I don't want to say national. Their first state title, I think, this Friday night, if I'm not mistaken, against Buford. If I'm not mistaken, there, I think they're playing Buford in the high school championship, man. Shout out to Langston Hughes, man, who for real, that's what's up, man. So, and like Banks just said, man, shout out to all the high school where we go into the state championship now this weekend. So I'm really pulling for them boys, man. Langston Hughes, man, coming right out of Fairburn, man. Hope y'all do y'all thing, man. I also want to give a shout out to one of my boys, JB3, man, who's going to be refereeing that game up there, Army Navy this weekend. So if y'all watching Army Navy game, got to give a shout out to my man JB3, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. As always, you can catch us on Facebook, man. You can catch us the Leo G Show. You can catch me on Twitter, my own personal account at Southern Set with 2 T's. You can also catch the Leo G Show, the number 1, the Leo G Show, the number 1 on Twitter as well, man. Because we got all the smoke. Y'all want to talk about, y'all want to defend Kirby, man. Come on with it, man. Because we definitely give y'all all the smoke y'all want. Because ain't no defending that cat. As always,
we
man.
We got time.
Yeah, we got time for that one, man. As always. It's been a pleasure. We'll come back to y'all and give you guys our final takes on the bowl games moving forward. I guess were the ones that matter. And we'll also come back and talk about that team that we didn't want to mention tonight, man. This has been another edition of the Leo G Show, man. We're going to be out.